In this tutorial, we'll learn about SQLite, a lightweight and powerful relational database. You'll discover how SQLite works, why it's widely used in applications like mobile apps and small projects, and how to create and manage databases using simple SQL commands. First, create a folder for this lesson by running the command make directory lesson1. This will create a new directory named lesson1 where we will store our SQLite files. Next, navigate to the folder you just created by using the cd lesson1 command. This command will move you into the lesson1 directory, so you can start working with your SQLite files. While inside the lesson1 folder, create a new SQLite database by running the following command SQLite3 datadb. If the file datadb does not exist, SQLite will automatically create it. After running the command, you will enter the SQLite shell, where you can start writing SQL commands. Inside lesson1 folder, create an insert.sql file to write commands. In this file, write SQL commands to create a user's table with a column's ID, name, email, and age. The ID column will be the primary key and will automatically increase for each new record. After creating the table, add an insert statement to add a user's name, email, and age into the table. This SQL file will allow you to quickly create the table and insert data into the database when it is executed in SQLite. Then run the command SQLite3 myDatabaseDB, insert SQL in the terminal. This command tells SQLite to open the myDatabaseDB database and execute all the SQL statements inside the insert SQL file. As a result, SQLite will create the user's table with a column's ID, name, email, and age, and it will also insert the sample data defined in the file. This method is useful because it allows you to run multiple SQL commands automatically from a file, instead of typing them one by one in the SQLite shell. Next, create a file called Select SQL inside your project folder. In this file, you can write SQL commands to retrieve data from the user's table. First, you can select all records using Select All from Users. Then, you can select specific columns, for example select name, age from users. Finally, you can filter records using a where clause, such as select all from users where age greater 26. When you run this SQL file with SQLite using SQLite3 myDatabaseDB, select SQL, it will display all users, specific columns, and only those users whose age is greater than 26. This is a simple way to practice retrieving and filtering data from your database. Next, create a file called Update SQL inside your project folder. Next, you can learn how to modify and update your database records. To change a user's data, you can use the update statement. For example, you can set the age to 31 for the user whose name is Bob. To remove a record, you can use the delete statement, such as deleting the user whose name is Alice. You can also change the structure of your table using the alter table statement. For instance, adding a new column called city of type text to the user's table. These commands allow you to manage both the data and the structure of your database easily. Then type select all from users to view the updated records. When you type SQLite3 database-db, update SQL, it will open the database-db file in SQLite and execute all the SQL commands written in update SQL. This means that any update, delete, or alter table statements in that file will be applied to your database automatically. For example, the user named Bob will have their age updated. The user named Alice will be deleted, and the city column will be added to the users table, all without having to type each command manually in the SQLite shell. You have successfully learned how to create and manage a SQLite database. Starting from creating a project folder, you learned how to create a database file, write SQL commands in separate files, and execute them to create tables, insert data, and retrieve records. You also practiced selecting all records, selecting specific columns, filtering data using where clauses, updating records, deleting records, and modifying the table structure with alter table. By following these steps, you now have a solid foundation to start working with SQLite in your projects.